Welcome to a special, very special Saturday night edition of Taking It to the Know. This is time of the year. I always pick some special charity or something that people need some help to do what I call kind of a public service. Now, there's going to be no commercials in this one. I have no commercial advertising on this. This is me giving back to somebody, okay, and helping people get things that they need. Today we have an incredible guest on, and his students, which are a 28-piece percussion troupe from a university that he teaches at. You know him as Ron Brown. So let me bring Ron in with no further ado and get this show rocking and rolling, because you're going to want to be tuned in. Let people know about this as you're watching, and let's see how many people can get on and get this message out there. Ron
Hey,
Brown, how are you, my good friend?
I am doing great, man. Had to set the phone up right quick because it started doing something crazy. But everything's good,
Who's
man.
this beautiful lady next to you? Can I just talk to her and not you?
Oh, really? That's what we're doing now. We're gonna start. Oh, this is Sarah. She's actually she's been with me as far as an assistant, probably the longest of anybody on my staff right now. And we're glad to be here. And we appreciate this opportunity, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let's just get things rolling a little. We're going to get into a little more detail as to how you got into doing what you're doing. But what are we doing today? You've got something special. You're going to have some performance, I think, for us, and we're going to get into the depth of what this is all about. So give us a little rundown of what we'd like to do.
Okay, so what we have here, this is a group called Carolina Storm Independent Percussion. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. I love teaching. If my passion is not for cigars, I love teaching because my goal is I love building better students, and better students become better people, and then that adds positivity to the community. And I do it through music. We teach life lessons, but the caveat or the cherry on top is the fact that we do it through music, and we have a great time doing it. And that's just one of my passions. We have a great group of kids here that just, man, they go get it. They know how to go after it with the right training, and that's just kind of what we do.
What is the name of this group and why the name?
Carolina Storm Independent Percussion. Why the name? Because before us, there was a group called Carolina Thunder that met at Mount Pleasant High School in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, not South Carolina. I currently am the percussion instructor at Mount Pleasant High School here in North Carolina. And that group was just an amazing group that went on to do really great things and be on the world level. And just kind of paying homage to them and the work that they've done and the fact that, we want to follow in their footsteps and still creating great music out of Mount Pleasant High School or Mount Pleasant, North Carolina in general.
Okay. And this group, do you call it a group or a troupe?
It's a group, percussion group.
So it's a percussion group, and the ages of these students range from what are they? High school, college?
Well, there's actually no minimum. We actually have someone that she's 12.
I think so.
Yeah, she's 12. And our youngest one is 12. And ironically, my daughter started at 12 as a cast member. She was like one of the, what do they call it?
Dancers.
She was one of the dancers kind of deal. But then the oldest you can be is 22. You can't be any older than 22.
Okay. So that's the max, 22. Doesn't matter whether you're college or high school. It's just there's an age cap of 22.
Right.
Okay. And then how many do you have like that would you consider the adults, the 21 and over?
Well, I only have a few 21 and older, maybe three.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe two or three. Because I've got
And
one
they've
that's
been with
phasing
you
out
for
this year. And I think I only have one other that might be 21. Everybody else is, high school age to 20.
okay. Okay. Um, Doing this, what is the you mentioned earlier the benefits of any organized extracurricular activity is always good for students. It keeps them occupied, it keeps them focused on doing things, keeps them, out of the bad world and focused on the good of life, what life can offer. Um, how does it play to like if they want to like move forward into like a college program? Does this help get them like scholarships for college?
So we're a part of WGIS, Winter Guard International, and we're also a part of a local group called Seaweed, um, the Carolina Winter Ensemble
Association.
Association. And so both of them have scholarships that they do offer, and they can do it that way. Or I have connections. I'm a part of the Vic Firth education team, and that's a drumstick company. And what I do is any of my students that want to go to a college, I contact the director there and say, hey, I've got kids that want to come there. I contact the percussion instructor at that school, and I say, hey, I got some kids that want to go there. And we set up an audition or we just set up a meeting. But I do my very best to always help them out. I write letters of recommendation. Um, and that's kind of what I do for them to help them out as far as get scholarships and stuff like that.
When you were younger, did you do this? Was
Um,
this a thing you did, or did you just play? You just a drummer in a rock and roll band, as they used to say?
Now, I wasn't in a rock and roll band. So when I was younger, I did what's called, all state, all county, all region. I got to go to governor school for the performing arts. But when I was younger, this wasn't really a big thing in my area, so I really didn't know anything about it. So I never got the opportunity to do it, but I see the value in it, and really being able to get these kids excited about the future and moving forward, and taking them to a better place. And some of them, this just helps them to kind of get out and get going. It takes some of the shyest kids and make them extremely sociable to where, it was needed. I mean, I never got the opportunity to do it, but like I said, I see the value in it, and I try to, help out where I can.
Now, I did. I performed in marching band and did winter drumline, and then after high school, I continued during winter drumline, and when I aged out, I became staff. So I've been doing it for quite a while.
Do we have at this moment any performance that we can?
Um, Talk to Sarah for a minute. I'm like, you gonna go see? All right.
Okay,
They do
so
know to be ready.
so while we're waiting for them to get ready, what I want to pop up on the screen is the GoFundMe and talk a little bit about the GoFundMe, and I'm going to have it showing on the screen so that everybody can see it and what we're trying to do here while we get some performances.
Right.
And I think the GoFundMe should be up there. This is to help us to get to the WGI Championships in Dayton, Ohio.
Right.
You have currently raised about 10% of a $15,000 goal. So hopefully tonight we can try to get that number to go up, people. Everybody out there that's listening now and in the very near future. This is what we do in our special community. We help people out, and this is my great cause for the year. That's why I'm doing this show tonight. So walk us through what you're going to do and what you're going to use this money for.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for doing this, and thank you to anyone that does donate. Basically, what this does, it helps us with our cost effectiveness to get to WGI. It's pretty pricey, and so we just want to make sure that we can give the best experience to these guys as we head up there. We're going to be competing and stuff like that, and this helps with drumsticks. It helps with if I have to buy new instruments, whether it be maracas to shakers to claves, all kind of stuff. This money also helps with food, because we got to feed them while they're there. It helps with travel expenses and things of that nature. Um, and we want to make sure that we can give them the best experience possible. So it covers a broad array of things, but mainly it covers the transportation, because we want to take a Greyhound bus instead of taking three vans where we would have to get drivers for.
Okay. Now, for those that are watching, the link is in the announced post. I'm going to put the link also in this here as we go on, so that it's there for anybody that wants to donate. And what we're going to try to do is Sarah is going to get the students ready, and they're going to do a performance or two for us as we go through the show today, and then we'll come back. We'll talk more to Ron and Sarah and just learn more about their mission and their passion for percussion, which is fun.
Yeah. Now we also have 3 students that are going to come back and after the performance, come back and talk and kind of be a part of the conversation for a little while, and then they've got to jet back into the thing. So the performance that we're going to do, it is the first movement of a 4-movement set of our show called Cowboy Bebop. So, oh no, it's called Space Cowboy, but it's based on Cowboy Bebop, the old anime. So you'll hear all kind of fun, all that good stuff, and you'll see it being performed with marimba, xylophone, bells, vibes, a guy on drum set, a guy on the synth playing, and he'll be doing a lot of the voiceover stuff you hear and sound effects. And then you got a full battery behind them of snares, bass drums, tenors, cymbals. And it's just a whole array of stuff that's going to be kind of gelling together to become one complete sound of hopefully enjoyable listening.
So this is much bigger than just a marching band you would see in a parade. This is
Right.
This is a drum line, but it's got other percussional things dealing with it and dance moves and choreographing stuff. Right?
There's marching and drill and all that good stuff that's involved, but our practice location today does not have a gym, so we've done our marching already outside. Don't laugh, Sarah.
With the pollen.
We did the marching outside with the pollen. So if you see kids that look like lobsters and stuff like that, that's why. We were outside. And I told everybody, I said, look, bring all your sunblock, whatever you need to be outside. Is it my fault if they kind of failed to remember to do that? But we did have some here, so we weren't mean. We had stuff. I wasn't.
Sure. Ask him.
They'll tell you I'm not mean. I'm firm.
You're firm. That's it.
I'm firm. I'm focused.
He's the firm one. He calls me mama.
Whatever. But yeah, so we'll be ready. That's basically what it is. We've done our marching and stuff already. So
okay. All right. So when will these students be ready to perform?
Are they ready for us?
I told them to come on. So
well, look, Sarah, you sit and talk for a second because he's got questions for you, I'm sure.
They're ready. They're ready.
They're ready.
Okay. Yeah.
Sarah says they're ready. All right. Let's take a walk out there. You're probably going to hear a couple of diddles and dit-dats and all that other good stuff. All right. So I introduced to you the members of Carolina Storm. Everybody wave. You can say hi. But I do have three that just came in to talk.
Let's bring three in and let's sit down and have a discussion about Carolina Storm Independent.
All right. Grab a chair, guys. Come on in.
Welcome to what I call Taking It to the Nub. This is my weekly podcast that I do on a variety of different topics. This year, this is what I'm doing as a public service for you and your group to help see if we can get people tuned into your GoFundMe. I'm known as Boston Jimmy in the cigar world. We're not going to get into cigars. We're going to get into percussion. So let's just start from, I guess, the closest to Ron, which would be on my left. You, yep. Go. What is your name, age, and what do you do in the group?
My name is Jacob. I'm 15 and I play a drum set in the group.
A full drum set?
Yep, full drum set.
How many pieces?
About 5-piece, I think.
Okay. All right, thank you, Jacob.
Yep. I'm Tyler. I just turned 18, and I'm first bass drum.
I'm sorry, I caught the last one.
I play first base.
You play first base. What does that mean?
So I'm in the bass line. I play the smallest drum.
Oh, okay. The smallest drum. And last,
I'm Nate, and I'm snare drum. I play snare drum.
just snare.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I got Jacob over there playing a full drum set, which has a bass drum and snare drum and, like in a rock and roll band, you're adding depth to what he's doing. Is that how that works? Like your bass drum that only you play, right? Is Jacob playing the bass drum at the same time you're banging on a drum?
So basically, what it is, what Tyler plays, he plays one of 5 bass drums. So there's a total of 5, and they're pitched. They have tonal pitches. So, and Nate just plays and these are marching battery instruments. So it's the bass drums that basically are this way, and they play this way. They play from left to right.
Right.
Well, what Nate plays is straight up and down, top to bottom, up and down. Whereas what Jacob is playing is the full drum set that puts all the groove to play together. And basically what Jacob does is ties all the battery equipment, which is the snare drums, bass drums, tenors, and cymbals that are on the floor marching. He connects it to the front ensemble, which is all the marimbas, vibes, xylophone, and things of that nature. So he's like the glue that holds it all together.
He's holding the rhythm. He's playing
right.
he's like a rhythm
Ties
drum
it all
player.
together.
That makes sense, right? Okay. So, let's go through the line again. What got you into wanting to play percussion in in such a band, as opposed to going out and just being in a rock and roll band or something?
Well, Jazz at my high school, he's still my percussion instructor. And whenever I joined marching band in 8th grade, he, was kind of helping us and getting me going. And he started talking about Storm and all of that and was trying to get us to check it out and see how we liked it and all. And when I started looking into it, I just thought it would be a really cool opportunity to do something I haven't done. Because as you were saying, rock bands and stuff, I have my own and I play shows and stuff playing the drum set. But then I figured out I could play drum set in like a marching ensemble setting, which is really cool to me. And it would really help me further expand my range, my skill level, which is just something I really want to do. So when I found out about that, it was honestly a no-brainer to just come in and join and be a part of the group.
Awesome. Yeah, going across to Nate.
I really just joined it because my friend Evan, who I know Jazz likes, he was the first interested, and he told me that I should do it. And I did it last year, and it really helped me grow. And this year it's been basically the same. I've grown a lot, and it helps me improve.
And
we'll go to our first baseman. I love first baseman because it's like, I think in baseball.
Yeah. I first joined Storm. It was a while ago. I was in the marching band just like Jacob was, and Jazz for 2 years hounded me. Man, you should come out. You should audition for us. He's like, I don't care what you audition for, just come out and audition. And one year I just broke down. I was like, all right, I'll come audition. And I made first base, and I've been on it for 3 years. I've grown a lot since then, and it really helped me with any rhythmic tendencies. Also with the marching band, because I went back and I did a full bass rack with Jacob, who was doing snare, the very next year. So we were the only battery members at Mount Pleasant. Yeah, at Mount Pleasant. Um, and then I want to go do this in college marching band. So it really gives me a head start on that.
So you're looking into college now? Are you, this is your senior year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're looking at colleges. What do colleges offer band members like this? I mean, they because I remember when my son was going to college and he had a friend of his that played tuba, and his friend's father told me, he says, you really ought to have your kid play tuba because tuba players get plenty of scholarship money because there aren't enough tuba players. Right? Everybody needs a tuba player in their marching band. So what does the drumming do from a scholarship perspective to some of the colleges that you're looking into?
So I know one of the scholarships I'm actually looking into now. I can't remember the name of it. It was actually offered by our high school. Um, one of the people in the area that was an alumni of Mount Pleasant actually had a scholarship for, I think it was $1,500, and it was for people that were in the marching band or had participated in band before. So band percussion really helps with stuff like that. Per colleges, they even offer marching band, they offer symphonic band, they offer concert band, they even offer some jazz ensembles as well.
Have you're looking to possibly expand obviously into these other things, maybe a jazz ensemble or even something behind the theatrics in the pit. Is that a possible adventure?
Yeah, I'd really like to get into it, especially jazz ensembles. Even my high school offers one, and Jacob does drum set for it several times. Yeah.
Okay. And how about the others? You guys are still young, moving forward in this. You're looking at a similar thing, moving towards a college program, doing something with it, or get some other ideas and for future.
I'm actually the same age as Tyler, going to the same college as Tyler.
Oh,
So I'm
you're really
pretty
going to the
similar
same
thing.
college as Tyler. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm still young and sophomore year in high school. Got a few years to go, but I it's really looking into the future. There's a lot of opportunities you can have with even joining an indoor percussion group like Carolina Storm. It can help you further progress your skill level, which can help you make bigger groups, such as college marching bands like Western Carolina. They have a great big marching band, which is where they're going, and that's what they're looking into. And also, just in general, whether you're playing in a college at a marching band or a professional marching band level, you can also transfer the skill level stuff into smaller stuff like it can be a studio musician or jazz bands that just travel and play or anything like that. Like for me, drum set, it can really transfer over a lot of places such as jazz, marching, and like rock bands, like we were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then as you move in that direction, you have that is music going to be your study, or you have a different course of study and music's going to be on top of that?
Well, for me, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I definitely want to pursue a career in music. So in college, there's lots of music opportunities, and getting started this when you're young can really help you get into the music scene earlier and sooner, and help you get along with it quicker in college if you take a music major.
For sure.
I'm actually looking to do a biology major. I'd still like to continue to do band and percussion, even if it's just like a side thing, like Jacob does some gigs on the side. Like if I can just get into some semi-professional stuff or maintain it as do a minor on the side, that'd be cool.
For me, I plan to do mechanical engineering, so something completely different. but I still have a love for music, so I still want to try to pursue it as much as I can. Although we'll see how
Well,
classes and music work out.
music and math go very well together. All right, I can tell you that right now. I'm a retired engineer, and there's just something special about music because it is mathematical in its own way. And it's good for you going for engineering, biology. You know, my that's where my son went. He was a guitar player in high school, and he ended up going to University of Miami doing marine science and biology. He's gone very far in his life with that. So you know, music brought people together and brought friends together, and that's special. And I have a no, and his one of his friends was a percussionist that in his rock, you know, in his high school rock band, he played the drums. He now teaches percussion at University of Central Florida. So he's taken it to complete professional level to teach percussion at UCF. So careers all the way around. Congratulations on all of that. Keep that focus. One last thing, I heard from Coach here that you all surprised some people at this last go around where you moved up some point levels. Can you all explain the point levels and how this works? And from what I understand from Ron, that you guys really jumped up the ladder in the last performance that you did. And how do you all feel about that? And what makes that happen? How does a 28 member team gel so well to make that come together?
Sure. So I think what really affected us to make us shoot up the ladder, and I think Jacob and Nate will agree with me on this. Um, we had a sound system failure actually, and it really forced the group to lock in and mesh with each other and really rely on each other and even ourselves, like as smaller sections, to try and drive the entire ensemble and the music forward, even while having this setback. And I think even that impressed some of the people in the audience. I know it impressed the judges. Like that is an incredible thing for us to do, and I'm really proud of the group for that.
And now that you've moved up that level, you've kind of set a nice bar for yourselves. As you are progressing out to Ohio, hopefully you're going to get there. Um, how many do you compete against in the process of getting there?
Well, in our class, we have about 12 to, I think we have about 12 groups in the out of the whole country in our class, or at least that are going to Dayton, Ohio. And that's pretty tough competition. There's some groups with almost 20 people in their class. But for us, it's a pretty tough competition because there's a wide spectrum of groups and their skill level, but people can make like big jumps. Like this last competition, we made a 10-point jump, which put us from 10th place to about 4th place, which is a pretty wild jump. That
doesn't happen often.
Yeah, pretty uncommon. So
especially with a system failure.
That's impressive, and congratulations on that for sure. Gentlemen, it's been fantastic talking with you. I imagine you guys are probably some of the more vocal ones in this group. Get back there, keep that team running.
Well, we appreciate everything, man. We're grateful for this opportunity. The kids they're excited about it. They're grateful, you know, to give them that opportunity to play for you guys. So it's going to be an awesome thing, and we, like I said, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. So your three students there will can come back to it in a couple 3 years ago. You know, I was on this really cool show.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey man, there was a cigar thing, you know, taking it to the no man. It's crazy. It was awesome. They'll be talking about that for a while, man. I really appreciate you letting them get in here and say something and have an opportunity to talk about what they do.
Yeah, I always hope it goes better, but you know, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna have some fun with this as we move forward, and I'm gonna be keeping a watchful eye over it as things move on. When is Ohio?
We leave for Ohio on the 9th, and we start competing on the 10th and the 11th. And
Is
then,
April?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thank everybody. Again, the if you want to check out the GoFundMe, I will once again share that. This is the GoFundMe. Uh, so the link is in the feed. You can see it in the comments. They are doing everything they can to try to raise $15,000, and they're trying to do it within the next week and a half. So a bold mission, but not impossible. Okay, I know how these things can work. So get out the word, um, pass it around to people that you know can be interested in this, especially those that are musicians. There are a number of musicians in our world. Um, you know who's a great musician? Rafael Nadal.
Oh, really?
Yes, he
Okay.
plays piano. Amazing piano. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Piano. He is a pianist and he writes and produces his own stuff. So he is pretty good. Nick Perdomo is a drummer
Yeah, I heard he used to set up the drum set for was it PCA?
at PCA, IPC,
Yeah.
PCO. When he went to the show, the trade show every year, and he has a ginormous. He's got a Led Zeppelin style drum set, all right, and he played those, and he plays them all the time. I understand. So Nick Perdomo is a big drummer. Doesn't hurt to reach out to the
Yeah.
Perdomos and say any little support here can help. Okay,
Yeah.
you're a drummer. These kids are percussionists. They would love to, carry it forward. I can go down the line, man. There's so many different people out there that are music.
Avo.
Avo, yeah, well, he's yes.
Yeah.
I so don't stop asking. If you don't ask, you don't receive. You
Yeah.
know.
We had that conversation today. That was one of the big things we talked about today as a group. So, and
Yeah.
they're going for it. So,
Okay. With that, this is a wrap on this show. Um,